Hi, my name is Vicky, and Sims 4 came out with Snowy Expansion, and I decided to go back to one of my old builds and renovate it to be more Japanese looking or Japanese inspired. I had originally built this last April, and it started off being 63k simoleons, and by the time I was done with this remodel, it was 53k simoleons. It's on a 30 by 20 lot. It's sort of one bedroom, as you can see. It would sleep 3 Sims. And when I was done with it, I still kept the bedroom layout about the same. It's still one bedroom with also a double bed and a single. I wanted it to be, I guess, kind of like an Airbnb of a family home, so anybody could just come and rent it, either with some friends or their family, and just all share this room. I don't know too much about Japanese home design, but I do know that these kinds of homes all have a tatami room, and I do know that the floor pattern is kind of important. I tried to emulate it earlier, but was having difficulty, and I don't really know if I succeeded. But I did like how that room ends up coming out. Here I'm working on the bathroom, which I kind of just like skip over for the most part because I don't take joy in working on bathrooms. So, and it just it'll show up in the screenshots later. Here I'm just working on all the windows of the house, which I do about a million times over and over. I change my mind about windows and doors, and I had originally used, I think, like island living windows because I thought that was like the most similar or realistic, and like island living doors and stuff too. But I end up using these paper screen doors, which I later found out you would not use to the outside, which makes sense because it's paper, but I thought it looked nice, so I went with it. This is my first time using the items from the pack, and I didn't really know what came in it, so I was kind of just like experimenting a lot, just seeing all the new build and buy things. My reasoning about this being an Airbnb also is why I kept a lot of the kitchen bare. I do really like the new countertops, but also I feel very pressured to overstuff the bottoms with, I don't know, like anything to make it look more lived in. Because I feel like it would be odd to just walk into a kitchen and see completely empty cabinets. But you know what? It might not be someone's main living area, so I think it's okay if they don't have overstuffed storage spaces. Here I start working on the bedroom, and I changed my mind quite a bit. Yeah, at first I wanted to go with single beds, thinking that like, okay, this is Airbnb and you and your college friends have decided to go, I don't know, skiing for the spring break. So you come up here and you um, want to share a room and, you know, split the cost of the rental. But then I realized I wanted to kind of keep my original floor plan, I guess you can say, of having maybe a double bed and a single for, you know, family sharing a room, which I don't know how realistic that might actually be. I guess it would kind of suck to share a room with your parents, but I don't know, depending on how close you are or your financial situation, it might be more normal. I've shared a room with my parent growing up, so to me this isn't too weird. I don't see it a lot in Sims builds, but I know it has to occur for some households, so I didn't think it'd be too bad here. Plus, if you're already dorming together or your childhood friends or something, I don't know, it probably wouldn't be too weird to be sleeping in the same room in an Airbnb. Here you could see my just struggles, straight up struggles. I was looking for that little red thing. I don't know what that is, that creature. I love it, but I thought it was in Discover University, but I think it's like from kids stuff or like toddler things or something. I don't know. I was looking very, very, very hard for it and eventually found it. I do end up adding a little bit more to the bedroom. It does look a bit scarce right now. And here I can add in a legitimate katatsu instead of a what did I have before? I had a coffee table and I think like a few haphazardly placed cushions around it, which, you know, did look, you know, cozy, but this was kind of the thing that I was mimicking. So I'm glad that that's in game. I'm trying to remember what color scheme I went with in this home because, I mean, you can't really tell, but well, especially you can't tell because of that sad excuse for a very pink pile of boxes. I think I originally went with red because I wanted something really striking, I think. Plus, because of the other Chinese things in the game, I think it's easier to get red things than it was other stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go with red. But I think when I redecorated here, I think I went for more of a green or like a minty color scheme with neutrals. And I was quite indecisive with the decor items that I wanted to use. But also a lot of them I just hadn't seen before, so I was just like experimenting and just pulling things out of the catalog, seeing if I like them, seeing if I could size them down or size them up like I do with this to see if I like it and want to use it. And after sizing this up, I realized I can't actually change the color of it, so I had to go back and change the color and then replace it. I wanted to carry over that platform from the front door to the back door as well. Like I said, I don't know much about Japanese home design, but I do know that the platforms are important because you're not supposed to walk around with shoes in the house, and you're supposed to leave them there, if I understand correctly. And I saw that a lot of the Sims lots, which were built by uh, Western YouTubers, they were using the platforms all willy-nilly. So I don't know if they didn't know that you're supposed to not wear shoes in the home, or if they just decided it would just like look cool to have random platforms all over the place. Even though, I mean, I've got no business making Japanese homes either because I don't know much about Japan. No shade to them. I mean, the new lots in the Mount Komorebi world are like stunning and they look better than like many things that EA could have done on their own, but I wanted to stay true to the use or the need, I guess, of having those indented platforms in this home at least. I love what I did with the outdoor space originally. Back when I made this in April, I took a lot of time to make the outside look very peaceful and naturey, and I have like a fake little lake going around the home that I covered with rocks and grasses and trees and stuff. And the front of this home has a fake bridge that I used with debug objects by placing it down, and Sims still ignore debug objects. So the sim walks across the bridge and it just looks like it's supposed to be there. I wanted to see if there's anything I could change about the outside, but there really wasn't much. I did replace some trees because originally I just used, I think, like city living trees that were pink, but I replaced them with the new red trees. I might have that backwards, but you get the point. I go around a few times thinking about like what little clutter pieces I can add around because I think for the most part I had all the major like functional things I needed. Things for like kitchen, bed, bathroom, and then after that I decided to see what other little decorations I could place about. I don't know if a lot of people would need an air conditioner in a mountain region, but I can imagine that Japan itself probably gets super hot, so why not? Let's just give them an air conditioner. I also end up putting these beams on every corner, which I really didn't need to. Like these corners don't need pillars because the wallpaper already has them. And the funny thing is, when I saw the trailer, and the trailer featured this wallpaper, I thought it was so ugly. It looked weird and it looked like weird alpha CC to me because it was so high contrast. But when I got the game in front of me, I was like, oh wait, no, this wood pattern looks really good, and I ended up liking it more once I actually had my hands on it. And I think I'm almost done here. Just trying to finish up and put some last remaining touches on it and, changing my mind. Thank you for watching, and now should be the screenshots.